Hello everyone, welcome back to another Roblox Rise of Nations videos. Phoenix here. In this video, I'll go over which nations start the strongest in the game. As you probably know, there are rankings for country's strength in the game, and why don't we just follow that? However, even if a country starts with a good economy and military, but is next to a superpower trying to conquer you, that is probably going to die soon and isn't that strong. As such, the rankings in this video are not only based on the country's starting economy and military, but also their ideology, natural resources, future expansion paths, possible formables, and if they are in danger early game. If you have your own list, feel free to post them in the comment section down below. For number 10, we have South Africa. South Africa is the strongest country in Southern Africa, so it's easy to expand there. Moreover, it is rich in natural resources, specifically titanium, allowing you to build more steel factories and tanks. When compared to Nigeria, even though it has a higher population, South Africa usually has a higher chance with more tanks if they come into conflict. As such, we have South Africa for number 10. For number 9, we have Germany. Germany has the largest starting economy and population in Europe after Russia. Even though Austrian players have gotten a lot more common after the removal of the German Reich formable, it is still incredibly easy to expand. A good player can build tons of tanks and rush down Poland and France as the terrain is flat there. After the conquest of these countries, Germany is basically unstoppable in Europe. However, most players play in Europe, so UK may try to ally with France, or Russia may try to attack Poland before Germany, so we only have Germany for number 9 on this list. For number 8, we have Indonesia. Indonesia has the highest population by far in Southeast Asia, allowing it to steamroll the region early game. After conquering Malaysia and Singapore, the player can form Srivijaya Empire, integrating them instantly and boosting your stability. Indonesia mainly consists of islands with hilly terrain, allowing it to defend against any Japanese players looking to form the Japanese Empire. As such, Indonesia is number 8 on this list. For number 7, we have Egypt. Egypt is the strongest country in the Middle East and North Africa. Moreover, it is rich in most natural resources, such as phosphate and titanium, which are quite rare in RON. It allows the player to immediately build up factories without having to spend tons of money to import raw materials. Egypt can also outgrow its main rival Turkey by expanding in both North Africa and the Middle East at the same time with tanks. As such, Egypt is number 7 on this list. Now I'll give some honorable mentions. Italy was a contender for Germany's spot on this list due to its being able to expand in both Europe and North Africa early game. It could even snipe France away from Germany when they are in a war. Turkey was also a contender for Egypt's spot on the list, due to it having a higher population than Egypt and is the strongest country in the Balkans and West Asia. However, it lacks natural resources to build factories early game. For number 6, we have Japan. Japan starts with a strong economy due to it being a democracy. However, unlike other democratic countries, it heavily lacks raw materials, forcing it to import them. Additionally, Japan has limited expansion paths. Not only that, as a democratic country, justification time takes longer, but Taiwan and Korea are usually taken by China, Malaysia taken by Indonesia, and invading Russia is just a death sentence. As such, Japan is number 6 on this list. For number 5, we have Russia. Firstly, Russia is extremely rich in natural resources, allowing it to span factories and choose communism for her ideology. Secondly, Russia can steamroll into Eastern Europe and maybe even Western Europe with her tanks. If China doesn't bother with Central Asia, Russia can even conquer Kazakhstan for those extra resources. If Russia were to be attacked by China or Japan early game, it can defend itself easily with forts in Siberia. All in all, Russia is a solid choice in number 5 for this list. For number 4, we have Brazil. Brazil, similarly to Japan, starts with a strong economy due to it being democratic. Unlike Japan, however, Brazil is the strongest country in South America by far, and there isn't competition from a strong neighbor like China. Argentina doesn't even come close to it. You might assume uniting South America would be easy, but being democratic means a minus 6% stability hit when declaring an offensive war, making expansion difficult. As such, Brazil was number 4 in this list. For third place, we have India. India starts with an insane economy due to it being a democracy. In contrast to Brazil, however, it neighbors Pakistan and Bangladesh, which both have a high population to be conquered. If India conquers these two countries, it immediately boosts its population by 63 million, over 30%. India starts with a higher income than China, and if India and China are dragged into prolonged conflict early game, India can potentially win the war. As such, India is number 3 on this list. For the first two places, of course they are China and the US. Some say China is better because it has the highest population in the game, while others think the US is better because it starts off democratic with the highest income in the game. As a result, I made a YouTube poll asking you guys which one is stronger, and most of you believes that China is better, even though I disagree with that. So for second place, you have the US. US starts with the highest income in the game because of it being a democratic country. It can enact tax reform and improve infrastructure policies. It can also build up an economy of at least 50 million early game by developing cities. If it wants to intervene in conflicts and influence the server, it can ally countries or even create a faction around the world. And with that, it can join conflicts without destabilizing the country. As such, US is second on this list. So for first place, we have China. China starts with the highest population in the game and a decent economy to go with it. It is also socialist, which allows for faster local justification and conquests, higher manpower gain for more units, and factories produce more goods. Moreover, it is also the strongest country in Asia. Countries bordering China such as North Korea have no chance to resist Chinese aggression. Furthermore, China also has an abundant supply of natural resources besides titanium, which it can obtain by rushing down Kazakhstan early game from the Russians. As such, China is first on this list. This is the end of the video. Do you agree with the list? Like, subscribe, comment, and maybe check out another video of mine.